what's up? My name is Jam and I'm here to review The Mommy Club. This is episode 6. What do I think of this episode? Nunurai had me on the floor this episode. Like, Nunurai was my MVP this episode. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, support a bitch.
Support me, bitch!
So it started off where it left off last week. Mrs. Mobs, my voice is a bit croaky. It's super early. I have this big bass. It's super early. I woke up early because I'm heading to the salon later on. And you know what? Every time I'm going to the salon, I have a style in mind. Like, I know I have this is what I want. And then when I get there, I either choose knotless or cornrows. Like, that's how lazy I get when I get to the salon. Like, I'm like, wait, how long will this hairstyle take? Like 4 or 5 hours. Let me just do the cornrows. The knotless braids. So yeah, but I do have a style in mind. I just hope that that's why I woke up so early, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure I won't do it. But okay. Back to Mommy Club. So, Mrs. Mops and Happy, they're still talking about the cloud chasing thing. So, Mrs. Mop is still pissed, saying how Google recognizes her, LinkedIn recognizes her, YouTube recognizes her. Like, you're delusional. So what if they recognize you? They recognize you because you make sure they recognize you. You talk about yourself. You make sure you don't leak, but you make sure you send everything. If someone asks about you, if any blog asks about you, you send it. I don't think you're a cloud chaser, but I do think you love the spotlight. I really think that you love the spotlight. If it's the same thing, fine. Loving the spotlight and being a cloud chaser, is it the same thing? I don't think it's the same thing. Yeah, I don't think it's the same thing. So I think Happy does love the spotlight. So for me, Happy, okay, fine. Google recognizes you. But you want them to recognize you. It's not like you're sitting down and you don't want them to recognize you. So you do love the spotlight. Mrs. Morph is like, oh, I'm so scared of you. I even told the other girls that you're rough around the edges. Okay, I haven't seen... Happy has not been physical with nobody. Like, Happy has not been aggressive like that with anybody to a point like she's being physical. So I'm not going to say that, oh, I'm scared of you because of your mouth. And this episode, which I'm going to talk about it later, Happy is actually all back and no bite at all. She didn't have any bite for Atile about the cloud chasing thing, and she didn't have any bite for Nunurai. I'll talk about it later on. So for me, Happy is just all back and no bite. Mrs. Mom said, asked her about the engagement. And then she was like, and about the wedding, like, when is the wedding date and all these things. And she says, not yet. Like, it's too soon. All of a sudden, it's too soon for her. And Mrs. was like, I'm glad you said that, because I also thought that it was too soon. This was too fast, like your husband just died. And she said, listen, I have known this guy for like 15 years. This is Baba Titi. I'm guessing it's Baba Titi, right? Because she said she shares the child with this man. And Cirello and the 2-year-old Ara, they're from the previous whatever marriage. So I think Titi, this is Baba Titi. So I've known Baba Titi since I was 19. We were engaged when I was 19, and then something happened and he had to leave the country, and then I got married. So this is not just someone I met. It's still a bad idea. To me, it's still a bad idea. It's still a bad idea. And then now I get the phone call that happened like a few episodes ago when they were talking on the phone, and that man was saying Titi should be introduced and they should know that she's coming from a house. So I didn't understand what he meant, but clearly he meant like him and Happy, they should be married and then introduce Titi to their family, which is really odd. So if you two don't get married, you'll never introduce Titi to your family. Like, I'm talking about the baby daddy. If you two don't get married, you'll never introduce Titi to the family, right? I really feel like it's too soon. But anyway, it's Happy's life. Happy said, "This is my life. Let me make my mistakes. Let me walk this journey alone." And like, it's not like we want to walk with you. The way we're just observing it. Like, it's too soon. Kalas. Mrs. Mops invited her to a wine event. They are co-hosting with Ofmutle, the actress. And she's like, "Will everybody be there? Will Ratile be there?" She's like, "Yes, Ratile will be there." I think she said she wanted that. So she wanted to know if Ratile will be there so that she can confront her. But yeah, that was it for that scene. There's one thing that Happy said that it is true. She said, it might be too soon and it might be overdue. Which is true. One thing about this life, you can't just say, this is the only way. No, there's so many different ways you can go about things. So I get what Happy is saying. Like, there's no manual. It's true. There's no manual to life. Like, someone can tell you, save, be like this, do like this, and it doesn't work out for you. So yeah, I get what Happy was trying to say. But I still think that it's a bad idea, her getting married to this guy. And we'll talk about it later on. It's still a bad idea. But yeah, that was the end of the scene. The next scene was who? Nunurai and Miss Manshi. They went shopping. They were getting Happy a bridal gift, engagement gift. So Miss Manshi had already bought her some nice fluffy slippers. They were cute, and then they were getting her lingerie. So they got her like a red lingerie. So it was like, listen, I am Miss Manshi is annoying me. Her confessionals, the way she talks, she's annoying me. But there's one thing I love about her laugh. I love her laugh. And then Nunurai, she came in wearing an orange dress. Like, you guys are going to get tired of me and how I praise Nunurai's body. Nunurai was wearing a nice, tight orange dress. My God. Hey, mwili, body. She looks really nice. She does. Next thing was Mrs. Mops and her baby girl, Marang. I love that name, Marang. Marang. Ish, that name is cute. Marang is funny. Marang is talkative. Marang is definitely mini Mrs. Mops. She's beautiful. I loved when Mrs. Mops was like, "She got my beauty." I was like, "Yep, we've seen your husband." We have seen your husband. She definitely got your beauty. I'm sorry, but it's true. They took some pictures before they were going into the restaurant. It was cute how she was directing her mom. It was really cute. They sat down, they got some pink water, and then she was tasting. She's like, I don't like it. I'm gonna give it like a 5, like a 7. You know, she's talkative, which is good. This is what I'm going to say about Mrs. Mop in this scene. Mrs. Mops will not give us a lot about her life. She will not. She will give us the surface. She will give us, "Oh, I'm taking my baby girl to lunch. Oh, I'm taking my boys to practice. Oh, I'm talking about my family like this." But she will not give us the nitty gritty ever. She will not give us that. She will never give us anything that is worth watching. I'm not saying the scene with her child wasn't worth watching, but she will not give us entertainment. She'll just give us those cute scenes and that's it. And then she's going back to it. Mrs. Mops is very, very private. And I really wonder, if you're this private, why do you come to a reality show? And then this one, the Mommy Club, the name itself. Why do you even come here if you're that private? So yeah, she's very secretive. They started talking about boys. I don't think Marang even understood, because they're like, "What about boys?" "Yes, we go swimming." "Do you have boyfriends?" "Yes, I do have friends who are boys and girls who are friends." Like, she really didn't care for it. And then Mrs. Mops is like, "I want to have another child, a 4th child." Lies, you tell. I'm telling you, Mrs. Mop's not going to give us anything. Anyway, that was their lunch with her daughter. It was cute. It was a cute scene, but that's it. There's nothing she'll ever... That's the only thing Mrs. Mop is going to give us about her life. Cute scenes like those. And then escape through being a little bit messy and a little bit shady with the other girls. She will never give us her life. The wine tasting event, and I'm really glad that they didn't make us wait until the last minute for this event. I'm so glad. Omule came in first. So Omule and Mrs. Mouse were co-hosting. So Omule came in first. Omule came in. I hope I'm saying her name right. Mrs. Mouse was looking nice. Ratile, Nunurai. Nunurai came in. Nunurai was looking nice. Miss Manshi will make sure we see that backing bag. She will make sure we see that backing. She will make sure of it. And then who was next? Happy came in. When Happy came in, she was like, Tumaleng. I love the way she said that. And then she was sitting next to Nunurai. So Nunurai was trying to hug her and she was like, do not touch me. Everyone was like, huh. Anyway, Nunurai really paid her dust. Like, whatever, bitch. In the confessional, she's like, I'm not sure about Nunurai. Something's off with Nunurai. Happy just loves attention. She just loves attention. She does. She just loves attention. Anyway, she sits down and Miss Manshi gets into it. She's like, how was Lagos? Tell us how was Lagos? And of course, it's about the engagement and all this. About the engagement and everything, and then she shows off the ring, and then Nunurai with the questions. You know, Nunurai has to ask the Nunurai has to ask the question. It's like, you didn't know? You had no idea at all? You didn't know? She's like, no, I didn't know. I don't believe her. She knew. That's why she was really rushing to go to Lagos. She knew. She did. Happy she did. Happy did. I'm starting to think maybe Happy is a cloud chaser. Maybe she is. Maybe she is. She says she hasn't seen me over 15 years and all this. I think it was Omohle who asked, so you guys have been talking this past few years? Then she said no. They have not talked for 15 years. They have not seen each other or talked for 15 years. She talked to him after her husband died. He reached out to her saying, oh, I'm so sorry, what's going on with you and all these things. And then I think it was Miss Manshi. Miss Manshi asked, it was Miss Manshi, right? Yeah, it was Miss Manshi. Miss Manshi asked, how did he find out? And then she said, on Facebook. He found out on Facebook. You know what? Nunurai was like in her conference, like maybe it makes sense to... about the 15 years, them not talking, and then all of a sudden he reaches out. Maybe it makes sense to her, but in a normal, it's giving Telemundo. I saw when Nunurai said that, I was like, yes, Happy's life is like a telenovela. Like, it's just story after story after story, and then you're just like, what? And let me tell you, she continued talking about it. She said that when she gave birth to Titi, this man, they were already engaged, and this man was like, let's get married and let's just move out of the country. And then she told Baba Titi, this is not your baby. So that's why her and Baba Titi didn't talk for 15 years. But her story has so many holes, because this is something before she said, or she said she wanted to leave the situation. That's why she told him, like, this ain't your baby. So they didn't talk that until the husband's death. And then someone asked, how did he know about the husband's death? And then she was like, it was trending. And it had there's a video on TikTok that had 7-point-something million views. And then people were like, with you, even me, Happy with you, it's either trending, it's either TikTok has this many views. Like, that's everything about you. If you're not talking about your black card, you're talking about your followers and that you are trending. That's the only thing you talk about, to be honest, Happy. There's nothing else that you talk about. No, I'm not saying like she doesn't give us her life. She does, but that's the first thing on her mind. Am I trending? Do I have money? Like, when you meet Happy, I have money, I have a black card, I trend on TikTok. You get what I'm saying? But yeah. So when he reached out the first time, he said, I want a DNA test and I will pay you 300,000. I don't know if it was rand or dollars. I will pay you 300,000 if that child is not mine. And everyone was like, what? He will pay you 300,000 for what? And then she explained it. He was so sure that Titi was his child. So he was willing to pay 300,000 just to prove that, listen, I know this child is mine. So 300K was only Happy was only going to get the 300K if Titi was not his child. But he knew, he was 100% sure. So this is what I'm thinking. So for 15 years, you are somewhere in another world and you know that Titi is your child. Since you're willing to pay 300K because you know you're 100% sure this is your child. So for 15 years, where were you? You didn't call your baby girl. You didn't look for your baby girl. You didn't care about your baby girl. But now all of a sudden, you're 100% sure this is your baby girl and you're willing to pay 300K. Either it's a lie, either it's just happy being happy, or like I said, this man is not a good guy. He's not a good guy. I don't even know why Happy is entertaining them. Like Happy, you don't need a man. Man, Happy, you do not need a man. You need to be a mother. You need to be a mother right now. Everybody's just telling her like, are you sure about this man? And then she says, oh, this man has been in jail for me. And everyone's like asking, in jail, why? He was falsely accused of something. By who? By me. Like he's been through a lot because of me. He was I think he was deported at some point out of the country because of me. He was almost killed because of me. Like there is a lot of stories Happy has that do not make sense. So he said she's the only one who knows this man and she's the only one who knows why she's with this man right now. There's one thing Miss Manchi said in the court, because everyone is like, we're just concerned. Miss Manchi was like, there's nothing you can tell this woman right now. She's in love. There's nothing you can tell her. There's nothing you can tell Happy. You can tell Happy this man is horrible. You can tell Happy maybe this man is back for revenge, or maybe this man is back for your money, because we do know you love to give guys money. You cannot tell Happy that right now because she's in love. She will not listen to you. I don't care if you're hitting something like this. Happy, there's something in your ear. You can't say it. No, I can't say it. What? I can't say it. I can't hear it. I can't hear it. Happy will not listen to nobody. So Miss Manch was like, even if I have reservations about this whole thing, this is not the right time to tell her. She will not listen to me. Which is true. But if it's a best friend, if it's someone I'm really close to, I'm still going to tell them. I'm still going to tell them. I'll still support their decision. I'll be like, yes, it's okay, Chomi. It's okay. As long as you're happy. But I'll still tell you if there's some red flags. I'll still tell you, because that's what friends do. The wine finally comes. So they leave that story of Happy. Like she said, this is my man. I love him. I'm gonna be with him regardless of what you guys think. The wine comes, and I don't know. Happy asked about the shisanyama. And Ratile, I think Ratile thought everybody enjoyed it. Ratile really thought everybody liked it. So she's like, the people liked it, right? And then everyone was like, yeah, but... And then she's like, what? But what? I thought you guys liked it. You guys, it was in the hood, but it ended up in the mall. And then Miss Manch is like, we expected a convoy. We expected loud... You know what they expected. They expected the hood. Bratila's like, I took you guys to the hood. I don't know what you guys were expecting. And you had good braai. Good shisanyaba. So what the hell are you talking about? Rachel was kind of pissed. I think it's because she didn't know they didn't enjoy it. Everybody I think told her it was nice. It was the way Mrs. Mopsol said last week's episode. I didn't want to be rude, so I just said it was nice. So that's why I think Rachel was pissed. And on top of that, Miss Manchi started talking about that friend of Ratile, the one who said that they were doing an event together and then Ratile missed the event just because she didn't have a business opportunity. at the event, but they were co-hosting the event together. So Omule and Abby are asking questions. If you were doing the event together, why didn't you put your business, or why weren't you there already to just set up your business and all this? And Ratile is like, you're retelling the story wrong. So I don't even know why you're retelling the story. People Omule and Abby are asking questions. She doesn't want to hear it. She's already irritated. She really is. She's pissed. I think Ratile is pissed because Miss Manshi is talking about her friend, but when you ask Miss Manshi about her friends, the one she's fallen out with, she doesn't say anything. Miss Manshi is another one. She will never give us anything. She'll never get. She's that person you have to activate. She'll never give us anything. Also, she'll pretend like her life is perfect, everything about her is good. That's how she'll pretend. So I don't think Miss Manshi will give us anything, and that's why I think Ratile was pissed. Like, why do you want to talk about my beef with my friend? But if I ask you, your beefs, you acting like nothing's going on. I don't want to answer and all this. So I think that's why Ratile was pissed, and she shut it. She shut that down. She shut that story down immediately. The wine chick comes back again. I know the wine chick was like, let me go now. Oof, they started fighting again. Let me go again. Oof, there they are screaming. So I think she was timing when they've calmed down, and then that's when she comes. This time she came with a rosé. I'm not a wine person. I really am not a wine person. But but I do love a rosé and a white wine. So red wine, ugh. I just hate a red wine. I do. Anyway, she comes with wine and food. They taste and drink. At this point, they're drunk. Even Ratile was drunk. I think the only person who was really not that drunk was Mrs. Mops. And I think Miss Manshi. Omole was a bit drunk. She was a bit drunk. She was slurring. Happy was gone. Happy was gone. I'm telling you, Happy was gone. Happy was slurring. Happy was gone. Kabisa. So the Mrs. Mops and Omole had planned to play some games. So it was never have I ever. The first question was, never have I ever trolled someone. Oh, first when they say that, Miss Manshi was like, this is not gonna end properly. It's not gonna end well. Nunurai said the same thing. This is not gonna end well. Asking each other questions never ends well. First question was, never have I ever trolled someone. They're like, no, I have been trolled, but I've never trolled someone. Never have I ever stolen anything. At some point in your life, you have stolen something. So if you are a kid, you have stolen something. Never have I ever had a threesome. Happy says she had a foursome, two women, two whatever, and everyone is just like, what haven't you not done? And then Mrs. Mops asks, never have I ever leaked something on social media for clout. Now you see, Mrs. Mops, this is shady. You asking this question, you knew what exactly what you were doing. Ratile in the confessional said that Mrs. Mops is very strategic, and she's very manipulative also. And then she asked like, I just asked a question, that's it. But you knew what you were asking. Anyway, the cloud chasing thing comes up, and then Happy, drunk as fuck, is asking Ratile, why did you say I'm a cloud chaser? Why are you going around saying I'm a cloud chaser? Ratile is also drunk, because Ratile was screaming. Ratile is like, yes, you are a cloud chaser. Like, for example, you asked about my sister Nyama, right? Everybody knew you were engaged. But when you tell someone, don't say anything. Don't say anything. And then comes to find out, 20 people know that you're engaged. So you're a cloud chaser. And she says, even Omule is asking, everything with you is about TikTok. It's about trending. Omule was asking. And then Omule was talking to Happy and telling Happy, it's true. With you, everything is about trending. It's about, this is happening in my life. And then the next thing, you see the video on the streets, on the blogs. And when she said that, Miss Manshi was like, you're a fine one to talk. She was telling Omule. And Omule was like, what are you talking about? Relax yourself. And Miss Man's like, don't talk to me like a child. Don't tell me relax yourself. Omule's like, relax yourself. Don't talk to me like that. Relax yourself. Don't talk to me. Relax yourself. Omule wasn't like gonna shut up. Miss Manshi, you started with Omule. Okay, on this I'm on Omule's side. Miss Manshi, you are the one who started with Omule. She didn't start with you. So you getting mad because she's saying relax yourself. You're the one who started like, you're a fine one to talk. So I didn't know why she said that at first. I found out later. You're a fine one to talk. So you started with her. So she can tell you relax yourself. But apparently Miss Manshi was really pissed because of that. Happy is like, why are you bringing up the engagement and I'm talking about something different? Pratile is like, no, you are a cloud chaser to me because anything you talk about, it ends up being on the blogs. And you, when you talk about it, you're telling someone, don't say anything. I don't want anybody to know. So to me, you're a cloud chaser. And when Omule was telling Miss Manshi, like, you can't compare me and Happy, she meant like, Happy is a businesswoman, she's an actress, so her trending makes sense. That's what Omule was trying to tell what's her name, Miss Manshi. And relax yourself. Ratile really shut Happy down. Ratile shut Happy down. Happy didn't have any comeback. Because you keep telling me not to say, you send me a text, you send me a video, don't tell anybody. The next thing, the video is on the blogs and everybody knows everything. But you told me not to tell anyone, like it's a secret. So I'm taking this as a secret. And then the next thing I find out it's on the blog. So I get what Ratile was saying. While this commotion is happening, Nunurai was like, since we're asking questions about trending, Nunurai had me on the floor. I saw Nunurai had me on the floor. Nunurai was like, since we're asking questions about trending, on behalf of South Africans, who is the father of your baby? Huh? Mrs. Mouse was like, what the fuck? Miss Manshi was like, oh. Omole in the confession was like, so what if I tell you, why are you asking this question? In the confession, like, if I tell you, how does it help you? And then I knew, so this question was directed to Omole. And before she asked the question, she's like, this question is to the group. And Mrs. Mouse was like, to the group, not to an individual, no, to the group. No. Nunu in the confessionals. On behalf of Mandela's Rainbow Nation, who is your baby daddy? Ratile was sitting next to Nunurai. She got defensive immediately. If I tell you, how will it help you? How will it change your life? If I tell you, how will it help you? And then you know what? What's that saying? A hit dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. Omule hollered immediately. Like no one else was like, they're talking about me. It was just Omule. She hollered. And then it's like, I just want to know because I've seen it everywhere. I've seen it trending. So I just want to know. So apparently, Omule is an actress, and when she got pregnant, there were some issues of who's the baby daddy. She said one person is the baby daddy, the other person took a DNA test, he wasn't the baby daddy. So everyone wanted to know who the baby daddy was. Nunurai does ask the right questions. She does ask the right questions. Ratile was like, I'm bored, I'm leaving. Ratile was drunk, so I think that's why Ratile left. I'm bored, I'm leaving. Miss Manshi was like, this girl has told me to relax and she's not acknowledging that. I don't know, she expected her to apologize or something. Miss Manshi says that I'm leaving. So Ratile and Miss Manshi left. When Ratile left, Happy is opening her mouth. This girl has run away because I'm asking about the cloud chasing. I wanted to confront her. Happy, you had a whole few minutes to confront her. She clocked you and told you say things and tell them it's a secret, and then later they find out it's on the blogs. So Happy, you stop pretending that you wanted to check Ratile. She was there, you didn't check her. But Happy was drunk, you didn't check her. So now when Ratile leaves, she's run away from the question. No, she didn't run away from the cloud chasing question. She actually answered you, but you didn't have a comeback. So that's why I said Happy's all back and no bites. Omule is like, also, even this one, Miss Man, she's saying, why am I questioning you about trending? And I also trend. She can't relate because I'm a celebrity and she's not. Miss Man, she's not a celebrity. She's a celebrity. So trending for her is a normal thing. And then she turned to Nunurai. To answer your question, my baby daddy is the same guy I've been with for 7 years. Okay. Nunurai was like, okay. And it's you're not intelligent to even ask me that question. Apparently it's someone from jail who talked about the baby daddy issue, and then it caught on to the blogs and the newspapers. So Nunurai is like, it's everywhere. Come on, if we're gonna be friends, I'm gonna ask you, right? So she started kind of insulting Nunurai, and Nunurai wasn't feeling it. And then Mrs. Mops is like, you have to apologize. Now she's telling Nunurai she has to apologize for asking a shady question. Nunurai, Mrs. Mops, did you apologize to Ratile for asking the cloud chasing question? You didn't. You acted like, oh, it's just a question. It's just that we're just playing a game. So why does Nunurai have to apologize for asking the question? And Nunurai said, I asked the question to the group. I didn't say, yo, Omule, who's your baby daddy? No, I asked the question to the group. Omule is the one who decided to be defensive and answer. She could have shut her mouth. She could have shut her mouth until Nunurai said, Omule, I'm asking you. She could have just shut her mouth, sat there and drank her wine. But she didn't. She hollered. So Nunurai said, I'm not apologizing for nothing. Happy's there. You know I love you. You know I love you, right? But you have to apologize. You have to apologize. Apologize for what? She said she's not apologizing. I think Omole is the one saying, you've been checking me out, you've been Googling me, you're a fan. And then Happy said, yeah, she's a fan of us. She's a fan of us. And like, Happy, why are you telling Nunurai she's a fan of you? You have nothing to do with this, actually. But also Happy was really drunk, so I don't even think she knew what the fuck she was saying most of the time. You're a fan. I think at this point Nunurai was really pissed. Nunurai was pissed. Nunurai stood as like, listen, you're talented. Now she's telling Omole, you're talented, but I've never watched nothing of yours. So Omole was like, if you've never watched anything of mine, how do you know I'm talented? Nunurai was like, I was just trying to be polite. But I'm not a fan of yours, okay? And you, Happy, what do you do that you can say that I'm a fan of yours? Okay, you make money, but what else do you do that you're saying here I'm a fan of yours? Let me tell you, this was Happy the whole time. She was looking straight ahead. This is Nunurai. What do you do? What do you do that you're saying I'm a fan of yours? You only make money. What else do you do? Nothing. She's like this. Happy had what Nunurai was saying. Happy just didn't have a comeback. So she pretended like she's zoned out. She pretended like she had zoned out. And then Nunurai turned to Omule. I'm not a fan of you. I've never watched anything of yours, so I'm not a fan of yours. And then Omule said something really, really stupid. She's like, I don't even want you to watch me. I don't think you even have satellite. Where are you from? In Bulawayo. So remember, Nunurai is from Zimbabwe. I'm guessing Bulawayo is like a ghetto or a slum or something like that they don't have connection or lights, something. So she's trying to. She was a bit xenophobic. She was not a bit. She was legit xenophobic when she said that. You know, I've satellite in Bulawayo. No, Nunurai was just laughing. Nunurai was laughing, and she couldn't get a word in because every time she wanted to talk, bye, you're getting your bag, leave, bye. Go back to Bulawayo. Like, she was insulting her like that. Nunurai told Mrs. Mops, please give her my last name and then go Google it and then know who I am. Bitch, I went and Googled Nunurai. She comes from a rich family. So you telling her that she's from Bulawayo or she's never had TV growing up, they didn't have satellite, that shows your character. On what kind of person you are. Omule, I've never watched nothing about you. And believe me, I don't come from Bulawayo also. I've never watched anything about you. Maybe South Africans have, but anyone outside South Africa, they probably haven't watched your series. So you equating that to someone is from the slums is horrible. Like, that was really tasteless. And when she was saying that, the Bulawayo thing, Happy was laughing. Remember, this is the person who acted like she was zoned out a few minutes ago. She was not hearing what Nunurai was telling her. And also Mrs. Mops was laughing. And when Nunurai told Mrs. Mops, just give her my surname and tell her to Google me, Mrs. Mops is like, she's a girl from Zimbabwe. Like, you could tell she wasn't feeling Nunurai also. The fact that she's from Zimbabwe. Like, why would we Google you? Omolo was like, why would we Google you? Because you're insulting her. You're insulting her by saying like she's grown up poor. I'm not saying growing up poor is like a disease or something, but I'm just saying the reason you're saying that is because she's from Zimbabwe. And she's telling you, I didn't grow up like that, bitch. I grew up richer than you. She didn't even have to work. And her husband also has money. Her husband, I don't know if it's dowry. He wanted to fly in cows to Zimbabwe. I don't know if he flew them in or he wanted to fly them, but yeah, cows from Nigeria, Lagos to Zimbabwe. I went and googled her. She's rich, honey. She's rich, and plus she married rich. So Nunurai is good, okay? Nunurai is not giving Bulawayo. And when Nunurai left, Happy, Mrs. Moss is telling Happy, did you hear she said that, what do you do? Did you hear she said, what do you do? And Happy's like, when did she say that? Happy, stop lying. You heard what she said that. Happy was pretending that she didn't hear what Nunurai said because she didn't have a comeback. You didn't have a comeback when Ratile talked to you. You didn't have a comeback when Nunurai talked to you. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I love this episode. I thank God Nunurai did not apologize. Thank God. Because Mrs. Mops, you can't be asking shady questions. But if Nunurai asks a shady question, she's supposed to apologize. Who the fuck are you? Then don't ask a shady question. Nunurai was a star of the show. I'm glad she didn't apologize. I really am. That's my recap for this week's episode. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.